There we are. There we are. We're live. Hello. Don't you... hello, yes. So Swedar is with me in voice chat. Don't you know that with TV shows, when they're about to go live, where they have a countdown, they do like 5, 4, 3, and then 2 and 1 is silent, so that... Yeah, true. Yeah, true. Yeah, was. So let me read chat. It's with a gaming scene chat. I wonder what he's doing there. Hello. Why hello there, says Kangafango. Is that supposed to be a question? Why hello there? Like, why hello there? Hello. Yes, how about... How are you this fine eve? Me be good. How about you? Good. I'm quite good myself as well. Thanks for asking. You too, my friend. Thanks for asking. Hello, Jedi's. Hello, Kangafango. Hello, Mr. W. Face cam's a bit like, yes, that's because Trainz is already running in the background. For some reason, these past few days, Trainz has been so much more laggy than usual. Like, did you see the thing did you see the thing I posted in Trainz, the screenshots thing? I had a 3 baseboard map, just a test map, some tracks going through it, a train on one side, and ground textures. If it was in the left 2 baseboards, the camera, completely smooth as the surface of a neutron star. However, if the camera was in the right baseboard or close to it, even though that is the baseboard with the least amount of stuff in it, that one doesn't even have any trains in it or anything like that in it. It's literally just tracks and textures. I got like 5 frames per second. Then I deleted all of the textures, and then it was smooth, even though I had used all of those textures in all 3 baseboards. I have no idea. Maybe my computer is finally about to give up. Hopefully not, though. Right. So, you should now be able to hear Trainz very quietly in the background. So let me finish reading chat, and then we can get started. Hello. Oh well, must be Discord playing up. We can't hear you, Swedar. Yeah, it was
Hello.
Because... No, yes. It was because I hadn't switched over the thing yet. Sorry. Wait, we seeing? I think so. If you want to, I'm sure Shadice will let you join. Hello, Mr. W. Well, if Shadice... well, if Swedar's PM... What? If Swedar's PMTG thing on the thing... Oh, right, yeah, if Swedar's on the thing, yeah, sure, join. Join if you want to, join. I did, yeah. Very strange. Same thing happened to me too. E. Sounds like a Star Trek phrase. Smooth at the surface of a neutron star. Yeah, but it's not. Hey. 5 FPS, normal Trainz, 19 for me. Hiya. Hey. Okay, so. Let's do it like we usually do it. Actually, I can quit some stuff here to maybe increase the performance a bit. So, can you still hear me? Can you still hear me? Test, test.
Test complete. 1, 2, 3. Bravo.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you. Should I bow now?
I don't know. What's the procedure?
Over. Hello, Mr. W. Welcome.
Oh, welcome.
I may cut out here because I'm switching over, because I have to switch over the screen.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello there.
So, can you still hear me now? Yes or no?
I can, yes.
Good. Good. So. Hello. Oh, hello. DT Chani 11, if that is indeed how to pronounce that. Welcome to the stream.
Okay.
Hello again to you. wrapping my head around the TEM1 cab, trying to get it to correct height. I didn't know the cab could correct its height. Test received, sweater, over. Hello. Yes. Shades, did someone just follow you? Can't see anybody. Unless they're hiding behind the thing, behind the wall. Right, so this is what we worked on last time. Surprisingly, this is the least laggiest TRS-19 has been all day.
Your voice is cutting out a little bit.
Right, that reminds me. Thank you very much. I wanted to change it because I was in voice chat before. I had forgotten. But thank you very much for reminding me. So, right, this, for some reason, even though there is so much stuff here, this is the least laggiest Trainz has been all day. Just look at the performance here. Look at this. And then, I know we've already gone off track, but that's okay. Let me just go into the test route. No, not the test. Let me go into the other one. Into this one. So I'll go into this route and look at the performance here. Just you can see how much more this lags. You can see that.
Interesting. Oh hey Robin.
Oh hello Robin. Or Robin the Cowardly Merchant. Welcome to the stream. Yes. So by the way, this is the test. Also,
hello, Merchant.
Also, I have a challenge for you. Do you want to attempt to pronounce the name of my maybe I'll do German route? Of the one that I've started. Do you want to try to pronounce it?
Okay. Das is the first word. Das. Hang on. Right.
Das. Okay, I'm going to let you try.
Das Plitzdiantal Bachernetz. Work.
Yeah, it's das Plitzsteintalbahnnetzwerk. It is.
Okay.
It
sounds like one long word.
Das Plitzsteintalbahnnetzwerk. It is quite. It means the Splash Stone Valley Rail Network. German names for places are always fun, I find. Anyway, now let's get back to what
you specifically chose this one.
Yeah, I did specifically choose. Well, I made this one up. So,
do you know like the name for like the longest place name in English? I think it's in Wales somewhere.
Yes,
it's the one that ends
but
in
it is not.
go.
It isn't English. It's Welsh, and that name.
Welsh.
That name of the station was deliberately given to that place by the railway. For basically mostly as a publicity stunt, so that they would have the longest name. It's something Chantwal something, and then it ends in Gogogoch. I think it is. I think that Kango knows it, but I am unsure. I think he does.
Hang on.
Right. So this is the scene. Actually, let me read the chat because I do not want to let it overflow again.
Hey, Kango pronounced it right in the chat. Nice.
Cheating.
Did someone just
pronounce it? Join.
using the position tag on the main mesh? Ah, right. Oh, hello. All right. VGR_row. I'm so sorry. I thought that you were Kangafanga because you've got the same color on my screen. Both the same.
What?
Brownish orange. This is the same color. I thought for a second there. I thought he was. Oh, you wrap your head around it. Oh, that makes more sense. I was thinking, Kango, what is he doing with the TM1? But no, yeah, it's you. Hello, welcome to the stream.
What? Wait. What? Hang on. What? Who's joined?
VGR_RO in the Twitch chat.
Oh, him. Oh yeah.
I think I'm not sure who joined the other thing. If anybody. The cabin is a few centimeters lower than the actual model windows. Evening. Yes, hello. Alright. With the SPU50s, right, the cab is like 10 meters above where it's supposed to be. Well, your lag is backwards. Well, by that logic, I would need to just pack... I would just need to make like 10 baseboards and pack them full of the most high-detailed PBR trains I have, increase the render distance to 10 or 20 kilometers, whatever the maximum is, and then it'll all be as smooth as the surface of a neutron star. I'll try it. Das Blitzsteintal-Bahnnetzwerk. Yay, I did it! Yes! Ranverpwigl. What is Ranverpwigl?
Oh boy, here we go.
Because in Welsh, 2 L's are pronounced as ch, so Ranverpwigl Hwirdorb something like that, I think. I don't know. Yep.
Nice.
I know it. Snap. Yep. It's crazy hard to say. Do you mean that Welsh word, or do you mean my root name? Or both. Snap indeed. Just add the position tag to the main mesh, then add the cap visible from outside tag, and play with the height on the position tag until it's where it needs to be. I see. No, you don't say. Nope. I mean, I did post a screenshot of it, still don't want to put it on the DLS. That's okay. There's a song about that town that helps to remember it a bit. Warning, it's a bit catchy. It's not pronounced fair either, it's either in Welsh. More like, why? Well, why? As far as I know. Yep, both. Both. Okay, so this is the last scene we're working. Oh, by the way, shadows. I've just turned shadows off for the moment because I was...
Just to try and save some frames.
Hmm?
Just to try and save the frames.
Well, for the trailer, because I was recording the trailer for the Coleman's Mountains Railroad, and when I first designed it, I designed it with 2D trees, the TB ones, but then because of TRS-19, I've had to update them with speed tree ones, so 3D ones, and it just lags so much for me now, which is my system. It's my system. So for the trailer, I have to turn shadows off to record it, because I don't want it to lag in the trailer, because since I want to upload that as paid DLC, I don't want someone to watch the trailer and then go, well, if the developers who made the route, if it even lags for them, then what chance do I have to run it smoothly on my machine, and then not and have that be the reason why they don't buy it? That's something I want to avoid.
But have you seen the trailers from Entrevi themselves?
I have, and they are not completely smooth either. However, mine would be much more laggy. I mean, I'm talking like many times where it just freezes for like a second or so, and an average frame rate of maybe 5 frames a second, if even that. Something like that I'm talking. So, yes, not ideal. Right. So, there was a news reporter who says the town's name perfectly. Thanks for that, but I don't know if I'd be able to upload my version to the DLS. Yep, seen that. As for why I don't want to, I might get accused of pirating a freeware asset again. Again? Yeah. Well, it depends. So if you ask the author over the Trainz forum, so if you send them a private message, and they give you explicit permission to upload your reskin to the DLS, and you do it under their conditions, then you've got proof that you've done it with permission. You've got evidence. Like, if it's just an oral agreement, like over Discord or voice or something like that, that can be removed, or but there's no tangible evidence, then yeah, that might be a bit risky. But I think that if you have actual written evidence that you have permission, I think you should be fairly safe. What are your opinions, Swidar?
I think so too. Like, if you have something written down, you should be able to be okay. But as I said before, I don't trust screenshots and whatnot, so I would be really more of a like the actual author constantly just like confirming that you have the permission to use it, so to say.
Yes, because if you have the email, not email, the private message, then if worst comes to worst, and first of all, the thing is, if you get permission via a private message, then the author knows that you have that message. They can't get rid of it. They know you have that, and that you can show it to anybody, and that's probably not that easy to fake, because if worst comes to worst, I'm sure that N3V could check could look through the private messages with your permission that you've got on your account, and they will be able to prove that indeed you have received a private message from the author giving you permission to upload the reskin or whatever the thing is. And if you have followed the conditions of that, then I think you should be fine, because that is probably very difficult to fake, I would say.
True. I am more of a formula type of guy, so I would really go ahead and write something in the Word document, like stating, yo, I, the author creator or whatever, just have permission to use the asset, this, and this, and just modify it according to the author itself and whatnot.
Also a good way of doing it.
And then send it through the private messages.
Yeah, also a good way of doing it. Although, one thing is that what's a bit annoying is when authors don't check their private messages. Like they just don't check them, because it has happened a couple of times. Not to me personally, but to someone I know. They've made reskins for assets, and then they wanted to get permission to upload them on the DLS, and they've written a private message to the author, and they never looked at it, because you can have a receipt, a viewing receipt, so that you know when your message has been looked at, which is useful to know to know whether someone just hasn't seen it or whether they're deliberately not responding. And no, they just never looked at it. It just was never read, which if the user is only on the forums, yeah, you can't upload reskins in that case, because there's no way for you to get permission, which means you can never use those reskins in multiplayer, because they have to be on the download station to be able to be used on multiplayer, which is unfortunate. Let me read chat. The weather forecast guy.
You are... Yeah, the weather forecast guy. Yeah, there we... Okay, never mind.
Ah, yes.
You found it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was just making sure that I hadn't missed anything. Yeah. He looks so proud of it. Well, probably is. Liam Dutton. Yeah, in his mind, he's like, yes, nail it.
Yes.
Do you have any problem with Service Pack 2? Me? Minor ones, yes. A couple ones. Like, for example, it... if you like, for example, it asking you to save unsaved changes even though you haven't changed anything. Or sometimes if you save a session... sometimes if you save a session... even though you haven't changed anything there, then it can cause you to freeze in the saving process, and then it'll come up with a message saying you haven't got enough disk space, which you have probably, and you just have to close that and then go out without saving. So save manually and then go out without saving. Just a couple of things like that. Also, I'm not sure if this is a Service Pack 2 issue, but in multiplayer, on one route, I was, when I hosted the session and I clicked on another locomotive, it crashed. There was nothing I could do to stop it from crashing. if someone else hosted the session and I clicked on a loco, I was given a loco, it worked, never crashed. And for them, it never crashed. For them, it worked as a host. So just a couple of issues like that, but in general, Service Pack 2 is quite stable. At least that's my experience with it. Some of these things may be specific to the Mac version, which I'm using as well.
It can also be just a specific version of, like, because every version is probably of Trainz is personalized. Every single one has its own problems and ups and downs.
Right. Not any serious problems.
If we're talking about glitches in games, there's quite a famous glitch in the game Skyrim, where if you face off against a giant and it hits you with a specific attack, you just go flying up into the air. Now, in a official patch for the game, the company fixed it, but they got such a backlash from the community for fixing it that they just added it back in.
So the one time the developers admit that it is a bug and not a feature, the players want it as a feature.
Yeah. The community, yeah.
There's one issue
I just think it's such an iconic glitch.
There's one issue that it always asks if you want to save or not when going into driver or exiting surveyor altogether. And if you've just saved and you save on that prompt again, it crashes. Yeah, I always ask the author before I upload repaint. Yes, definitely. For example, I've repainted the upgraded by Hiroshi series 113 into the Shonen livery, and I haven't uploaded it yet since he hasn't responded yet. Ah well, I don't think he's on the forum, but I'll look for him. I mainly keep reskins private, so no big deal. At least I can use it for myself for now. Shadows, yes, I know that. For example, I've repainted the A4 into LMS Maroon, never responded. Called it Swan. Yeah, that is unfortunate. I would have used that as well, as opposed to Mallard. Maybe they've just left the Trainz community. First time I got accused for installing an original asset, which was already an editing folder in a mobile edition. That asset was high detail and freeware. Well, I'm not sure what the exact rules N3V have about these things, so I really can't help you there, unfortunately. Should I snap about the SP2 issue? Theory.
They are.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
In the N3V does not promote any kind of installment of any kind of third-party assets into mobile versions of Trainz. Just because have some kind of it can break the game. Some assets could break the game itself. So if these assets were to do that, then you will go to the support, and then they wouldn't know what to do with it. So basically, what you can do is only get the content through the Get New Content menu, and there is no other way. There are these kinds of converters and whatnot, so like people who actually convert for Android and iPhone stuff. But usually, the Android community is kind of toxic, I would say, but generally it's fine. And for iPhone, usually you have to jailbreak the iPhone, which means breaking terms of service of Apple. So, and that's the end of the story. That's what N3V has to something to say about it. So that's why it's usually also forbidden to speak anything about it on the N3V server, because converting is just something which is not done.
Well, there you go. Thank you very much, Mr. Swedar. Give him a round of applause.
Thank you.
Will you be back next year?
Maybe next stream, I don't know.
Maybe. Would be nice. Anyway, let me continue reading chat. Should I snap? All right, snap about the SP2 issue theory. Every copy of Tears 19 is personalized, especially the regional ones. I heard, yeah. The thing is that with the regional ones, many people don't know this, but if you buy a regional one, it actually checks which country you're buying it from, and then when you install it, it actually downloads all of the assets from the DLS that are marked as belonging to that region automatically, so that when you go into the game first, you get all of the assets from that region, and that's what it means to buy the regional version of it. Downside is all of the other assets aren't downloadable, so you're locked to that region. But yeah, and by the way, that wasn't true. Just to make that clear, it wasn't true, unless it was.
You don't want any backlash from the lawyers. You don't want any backlash from the lawyers.
I heard about this Skyrim thing. Also, company's called Bethesda. I know. Yeah, I can confirm. My server is the only non-toxic Android PC community. Good then. Good for you. Alright. Yes, there you go. Clap, clap, clap. Encore! Well, can go once more of your voice, sweetheart. I moderated with a iron fist. Though I still don't understand how can you pirate something that is free. Well, it's more about contracts. It's about when you
copyright.
That is a contract. When you buy Trainz, when you use it, you have to accept their terms and conditions. That means that you have entered a contract with N3V, and if you break those terms and conditions, you've broken the contract. And they can put basically whatever they want in the contract, so that includes free assets and whatever else you do. They could put in it that you can't play it on a Tuesday, yeah? And then if you play it on Tuesday, then you've broken the contract you have with them, and technically, well, depending on the ruling, it could be that you then legally would not be allowed to play Trainz anymore because you broke the contract you had with them. So it doesn't really matter if it makes sense to you or not, because the contract isn't that malleable usually. There's a lot of legalese in there that usually prevents it from being malleable. But yes. So, and that's unfortunate, but it is true. That wasn't true, unless it was. Shared as 2021. Well, isn't it true? I mean, unless it wasn't.
And that surely counts to every single statement that's ever been made or ever will be made. Wasn't true unless it was.
Probably.
Interesting theory.
Right. So
that was a little explosion.
Well, sounded.
There we go.
Right. That's understandable. That's true. Unless it isn't. Yes. So let's just drive the camel back down here. It should still, it's still parked over here. I just want to test it out. Well, my game crash, or just close the game when I use the copy and paste tools, or when I use bulk asset tool. And sometime, if I load my routes, sometime part of the track isn't there, but when you look on the map, it's there, and sometime the track just deletes itself sometime. And sometimes I have to go in and out of the game for the track to reappear. To me, that sounds like you're having memory issues. And by that I mean your computer, not you. I mean, it sounds like your computer is running out of memory, and the game basically can't really function like that. Like for example, with copy and paste, it does kind of have to. Well, it has to copy that area of the map, put it into some sort of buffer probably, and then put it down somewhere else. And the same with the bulk asset replace tool, that probably uses a lot of memory as well, and just loading assets into memory. So that would be my guess. Oh, now where did Park Mer Camelback? Yeah, that didn't stop me from installing the assets though, but I kinda quit the Android community because of 3 main reasons. Alright, I'm guessing that was reason 1. And I think I've just done the thing that I'm not supposed to do. Right, let me just quit it and start up again. My voice chat may break when starting Trainz up again, so just be prepared for that.
Hello.
Dun dun dun.
Test, 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 test. No, you can't hear me, unless you're watching the stream. So
It still works.
it does. You can still hear me over voice chat.
I mean, the voice works, but the voice in Discord doesn't work.
That's what I meant.
I'll probably just...
Let me disconnect. There we go. Now, does it work in Discord? It should work again in Discord. Does it work again in Discord? This is a test. Can you hear me? This is a test, I repeat. This is a test. That's strange. I don't think I can hear you now. Let me just load into the root so that it's a bit less laggy, because for some reason, yes, it is less laggy in the root. Then let me try to disconnect and rejoin again. Can you hear me now, or does it still not work? That's strange, I should be able to hear you. Huh. Let me close the window and start again. 1 second. Oh, that means that I'll have to change the setting again. The microphone, yes, of course. Change the setting, go into here. By the way, can you hear me now through Discord?
Hey! Let's go. There we go.
There we go, yes. Just had to close the window and start it again. Right, oh right.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting. Right. Mr. W, are you still there? I can't hear you if you're speaking. I'm not sure if you're speaking because I can't hear you over Discord, unfortunately.
What? How is that even possible? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes, but I can't hear Mr. W.
Okay. That's weird.
It
Selective Discord, I guess. The selective voice chat.
That is really strange. I can't hear Mr. W talking. Huh.
I hear him talking. He talks just fine.
So how does Trainz look without shadows? Does it look good?
Hello, hello?
Hello, I can hear you again.
Hello?
I can hear you. Hello, hello, hello.
I disconnected. Disconnected.
Good, great. Right. Listen to this loco.
Hang on, I'll turn the Twitch thing on.
That's such a nice horn.
It is. Also, I think it's called a whistle.
Okay, whistle chime, I don't know.
I like the logo.
Yes,
Cute
me
logo.
too.
Loco ishite. Loco go choo-choo.
Yep.
Yes, it does.
Cute choo-choo.
Quite flat
logo
here.
go. You say it's quite flat, like you didn't make the route.
Well.
You've only got yourself to blame for being flat.
No, I wanted to be flat.
Sometimes you need to like step
Then
back
why
and
did you complain about it?
I didn't. I just noted it.
is that you already knew that, and we could see it.
Yeah, I know. It's just I noted it. Right. So I just want to see what it feels like to drive back this way, because I'm going to work on the fields over on that side back there next. I think this area is turning out quite nicely.
It is, yeah.
Indeed.
But I think it looks a bit too sort of. I don't know what it is about. I don't know what it's. I don't. Hang on. I don't know what it is about it, but it looks. It just looks a bit artificial.
It's probably.
It looks like it's staggered.
Well, for one thing, three things actually. One, there are no shadows at the moment for performance reasons, because I was recording the other thing, and that may be one thing. And secondly, the splines are technically 2D assets. They're not, so they don't have translucency, which means they do look a bit strange in TRS-19. And thirdly, well, it is artificial. They are fields.
Well,
I mean,
yes, I know that, but the majority of the point of games is that they're not supposed to be is that they're not supposed to look or acknowledge themselves to be artificial, unless it breaks the fourth wall.
That is kind of true.
And then the grass starts speaking to you.
Yeah.
Sorry, what? What do you say?
And the grass then starts speaking to you.
And the what? And the what starts speaking to you? The grass.
The grass.
The
yes.
Grass.
It starts breaking the fourth wall. It just speaks to you.
Yep.
It's a. Do you want to know what it says?
Next it was red.
This is going to be a pun, isn't it?
No, not a pun.
This is going to be some.
No. The grass.
Go on.
The grass says, "Hello, player. I shall grow towards you out of your computer while you are resting. I shall invade your dreams and be there every night. Don't be afraid." That's what the grass says.
That's some scary glass.
Okay, I'm a head out.
I'm so happy with how this little scene turned out with a little gas station here. This looks nice.
It does look nice, yeah.
It looks better with shadows.
Hang on,
You just have to imagine them with shadows.
Yeah. I've got the stream to catch up.
Right. I need to connect.
I remember
Imagine
there's a fourth wall break in I think it's the Simpsons game, but it's not your usual fourth wall break. Wall break. So they talk to the character who references the game that they are currently in. The game references the Simpsons game, and about how this deity is playing the game and they are in it. And they say to him, "Well, do you ever think that you could be in a video game?" And it pans out into a TV with someone playing it on that, and then the person playing it gets up,
yes.
taps on our screen and goes, "Daddy, someone's looking at me," and it just is in depth, sort of this mind melting mess.
Yeah, so it's that. So kind of like the Men in Black ending. Then the first one.
What is it?
Have you seen Men in Black? The first one, I mean.
No. I don't think so.
Ah. Well then, the ending of that is kind of like that.
Go on then, because I probably won't watch it.
Well, I think I'll probably leave it at that. It's kind of a bit like that.
Oh, good grief.
Let me read chat. Shall I? Okay. Alright, test. Yes, heard it. We can hear you. I can hear everyone else. Wait, Miss W, can you hear me? Now, one of the reasons was, as you said, toxicity of pirates and beggars. Well, pirates are quite toxic characters usually.
Yeah, they're not the cleanest of souls.
Also, here's the thing. Do you know where... Okay, if you think of pirates, you probably think of galleons with the black flag and the skull and crossbones. Yeah, the R thing with the eye patch. That, yeah?
Yeah.
Caribbean islands, that sort of area. Do you know where that actually originated? Because I do.
Was it Treasure Island? William Stevenson.
No.
I know that the person who originated the pirate accent was, I think it was.
No, sorry. I don't mean the accent. I mean just the.
Yeah, I know you. I know
the real life ones.
But I was talking. I was talking about the another thing that I know about sort of the origins of something to do with pirates. Hang on, so you're talking about the stereotype of pirate, where that came from?
No, I'm talking about where the actual pirates came from. Those actual pirates that were in the Caribbean.
Oh! Hang on, in that case, what do you mean came from? In that case, what do you mean by where they came from?
Well, there weren't always pirates in the Caribbean, but then, one day, there were. And they stayed there for a couple of decades. And then they were basically hunted to extinction by military vessels. And I'm asking if you know where those pirates, that the stereotypical pirates are based on, come from. How that came to be.
So sort of where they originated from.
Yes, how they came to be. Because
Johnny Depp rallies up a few people, and they go on a massive school trip, playing dress up.
Well, close, but no.
Close, close, but no cigar. He says.
How about you, sweetheart? Do you know?
Where would they be?
Sorry, say again.
Do you know? Do you know where the actual real life pirates of the Caribbean came from? Though the ones on which the modern stereotypical pirate is based on. How did they come to be?
It's presumably not the Caribbean.
Well,
yeah, it's not Caribbean for sure.
Yeah.
Well, yes and no.
Greenland? No, that's Vikings, I think.
Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, go for it.
Well, it all started with a war of independence fought between America and the British Empire. Now, I think it was it Queen Victoria? I think it may have been Queen Victoria.
I think so, yeah.
I think it was Queen Victoria. She had, well, there was this thing that if you had a ship and you had guns on it, you could get a thing from her, and that was basically a license to be a pirate, which is called a privateer. You've probably heard the term used before, a privateer. Yes. Privateers are...
See VGR, by the way.
What?
He's put in chat. He's off to bed. So see.
Oh right. Oh, thank you for saying that. Bye. Sweet dreams. Yes. So a privateer basically meant that you had a license given to you by the Queen of England to be a pirate, as long as you don't attack British vessels. And of course, you have to bring a part. Well, actually, your loot you have to bring back to London. Yes. So a lot of captains thought this was very lucrative, so they got the license, they became privateers, and soon there were hundreds or even thousands of privateers in the, well, near the Americas, so by the Americas, so a lot of them in the Caribbean. Then when the war ended and the Queen took back the license, a lot of these privateers thought, well, we've been living as pirates for however many, I think, for however many years this was. We've got ships decked out like warships, and we've been living a free life. We've basically been criminals and had a license for it, so why should we give that up now? So then those privateers, a lot of them, just became regular pirates. And they actually did band together and try to form a new nation state there, which didn't really succeed. But yeah, and that is where that stereotypical idea of pirates in the Caribbean comes from. It's basically England's fault.
As are most things.
Well, railways are England's fault.
Exactly.
And so, if you think about it in a specific way, if you think about it in a specific way, then every single thing that has been, every single thing that has happened as a consequence of railways is, to some extent, the fault of England. Because sure, in some cases, you would say, well, this discovery, this invention would have been made sooner or later anyway. If it hadn't been England, then it might have been, I don't know, Belgium, maybe. Yeah?
Yeah.
However, steam has been around for thousands of years. People have known about it for actually tens of thousands of years. The ancient Greeks even built a simple steam motor. It was basically just a ball with two pipes that spins on an axle. Yeah, and
it was called the Thunderball or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. But in all of that time, nobody has invented the steam locomotive. Thousands of years, nobody has invented it. And then someone in England, someone in Britain, because the Industrial Revolution had begun, actually canals were used for which is incidentally why Britain has so many canals, because they were used mostly for coal transport to fuel the Industrial Revolution here. Because of that, trains were needed. Firstly, railways were pulled by horses. Well, not railways, I mean wagons were pulled by horses. Like, for example, the Festiniog narrow gauge railway was originally pulled by horses, the wagons there. Then the first simple steam locomotives were built, like Puffing Billy, for example, which had all of the valve gear vertical, so going up and down, not side to side. And then those existed for a couple of decades until, and they were actually going on tramways, where the flanges, which are the little bits the little ring at the edge of a wheel, the flanges were actually on the tracks, on the inside of the tracks, and the wheels were completely flat. But anyway, yeah. Then with time, it was discovered that steam locomotives are actually really useful. Yeah. So then they decided. Normally, in the beginning, steam locomotives were only used at mines to pull wagons from and to the mine. Well, from the mine down to the barges, to the canal, and then back up again. Yeah. But then, when it was discovered that they were really useful, then the Darlington, I think it was the Darlington Joint Railway, Darlington something.
I don't know.
I forget what the exact name is, but there was.
It's a Dalek. Go with your first one.
Okay, no.
Yes, it sounds more fun.
There was railway built there. Do I have it in? 1 second. No, I don't have it, unfortunately. Anyway, yes. Actually, maybe I can show you a picture of it.
Oh, sweet.
So one of the first locomotives built, Puffing Billy, was built 1813, and it looked like this. I believe this is a replica, but it looked like this, if you can see it on stream. This is actually a bit of a modified version, I believe.
Hang on, I'll wait for it.
There. Actually, here's a photo. It looked like this.
Oh wow! Look at that.
Yeah. Yeah, it looked like that, basically. And then the Darlington... no, it was the Darlington and Stockton Railway, I believe it was called. They had... that was the first railway between towns. So the first... Yeah. But I believe that was not open to the public, although I may be wrong. No, because the Liverpool and Manchester was the first public railway, I believe, which was in, I think, the 1820s, late 1820s, where they held the Rainfield trials, where Stephenson's rocket, the locomotive, won them, even though it did kind of won by default because of other things. Well, one of... Okay, do you want to go... Okay, so here's a question. Mr. W and Swidar, do you want me to go into the Rainhill trials? The Rainfield trials.
Can we stop you?
Yes, you can.
I think he's on a roll more than any train ever could. So, how long? Well, I've got to go in 5 minutes. So.
Oh, then I want to say something.
Oh yeah.
Would it? So anybody who's watching now, would it be okay if the Tuesday stream, this one, if I moved it an hour earlier? So instead of from 9 to 11 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, it would be from 8 to 10 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time.
I don't mind that.
Okay. Good.
Me neither.
Okay, well then I'll do that. Although on Saturdays it will still have to be the usual time. Yes. Right, great. Then you'll be able to stick around for longer, hopefully. Right. So, okay. Do you want me to go into the trials? What they were about?
Well, I don't mind, because I'll have to go. But if Swidar wants you to, no.
That is so funny.
Come on, you know.
I know how you meant.
I'd stay if I could.
Yeah, it's like. Okay, I know.
I'm just waiting for the stream to catch up so I can see your reaction.
Okay, so I said, do you want me to talk about this thing? And then you said, well, I don't mind, because I'm gonna leave in a few minutes. That was like one of the most falsely polite things I've heard a non-politician say. And it wasn't even deliberate. That was brilliant.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I think.
Anyway.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Anyway. Right, so I think that I'll probably just read chat now and then right, so
oh yeah.
Right, okay, I was in the middle of reading a message when I went off on a tangent. Now, one of the reasons was, as you said, toxicity of pirates and beggars. That's how we call the gym pigs. Those guys.
Gimme pigs.
Gimme pigs?
Gimme pigs. That sounds better. That sounds more fun.
What are they? I have never heard that term before. Do you know what they are?
They're pigs
basically people who excessively want something.
Oh, so like gimme, like give me, gimme pigs.
Yep.
Oh, I understand now.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
That's genius, actually.
Those guys. You probably know what I mean. Waiting right around the corner to steal, and I know for a fact that they are waiting for the release of that TS3 beta to put it all over YouTube for everyone. And 3. I got real life stuff, and 3, I got real life stuff. I gotta take care of my girlfriend and job. Well, congratulations on both. And the rest of chat.
So I'm getting a girlfriend and a job.
Well.
Oh yeah, Chris is left now, isn't he?
Yes. And the rest of chat? Yes, hello,
Yes.
we're back. Alright, I see. Shadis, well, I thought you didn't want one. Not sure what that's referring to anymore, sorry. Also, Twitch are changing the snake emote every 24 hours now until one of them sticks, or so I've heard. They've replaced
That's
it with...
the
Or maybe it's not a snake. Is it like a lizard, maybe? Something like that? Now? Ugh.
Modo Dragon, I think.
Oh, they've replaced it with that. Now? Ugh. Yeah. And apparently, it's only because the guy had said something critical on Twitter, and that's why they said they don't want to use it anymore in good conscience. I have 2 things to say. One of them is freedom of speech. The second is beep. Yeah, those 2 are very important.
What? Was that just a long swear? I like to think that was just a
No,
long
it was
swear.
no, it wasn't a swear. No, it's like it's one of those things, you know, that they like to censor, because when I said that it's beep, because the thing is that because of freedom of speech, the reason that things like beep and the thing is that beep, that's the reason why.
Yeah, but what did they? Yeah, but what did they? Ah, I get it.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh well. PogChamp, what
know
even
you-
is that image?
Oh.
You did
Nothing.
Komodo Dragon apparently. Called
let you
Komodo
finish.
Hype. And now that I'm done with the rant, might put my root unnamed version 12 on the DLS. Sure. I suggest you give it a proper name first, but if that's a fitting name, then go ahead. Do you have physics simulation on? No, I do not. Thing is, it's for Trainz 12, so you might not be able to play it in 19. Yeah, that is gonna cause some issues. And introducing Sharadice as Carry Grass. The Looney Tunes Back in Action game also has 4th wall breaks. Well, Looney Tunes Back in Action has 4th wall breaks. Yeah. Daffy Duck talks about the developers. Don't know any exact quotes, unfortunately. Let me guess, did some British queen give groups of people licenses to loot and raid for her, but when they weren't needed anymore, they didn't want to stop and kept going? How did you know? That is exactly what happened.
That's the British. That's the British way.
True. Also, the museums, the British Museum and other museums like that, Britain colonizes a place, takes ancient, culturally, historical important stuff back to the homeland, back to England, and then when those countries get freedom, they get independence, the British Museum it's like, oh, you want your stuff back? No. Yeah. And then if they keep asking,
no.
if they're very persistent, then if you're lucky, you might get it back on a loan. Which several artifacts are actually, it's a real thing, several artifacts from the British Museum are now on display in their original countries' museums on loan. And I don't think that it's cheap.
No, I would doubt it. I would doubt that it's cheap.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm going to sleep. See you next time. Yes, indeed. Bye, good night. Night, V'ger. First of all, railways were pulled by horses. Well, kind of. If you imagine that the railways are built of, like the rails, the sleepers, the cross ties, things the signals are made out of, the ballast, all of that was at some point probably carted by a horse, pulled by a cart.
I know that. I know that vacuum cleaners were originally horse-drawn.
Interesting.
It used to be. I'll tell you about it when you finish reading chat.
Okay, looking forward to it. Some golden quotes in this stream. Very nice. Looks at Steam Engine. Hey, we could make a fortune out of this. Yeah, the Dalek joint railway. The Dalek joint railway, yes.
It can only go on track and it can't go upstairs.
Well, they float, if you remember. They can float upstairs.
They don't need. So they don't even need tracks.
No.
Just imagine that with the instead of the chimney, it's the Dalek. Like it's the Dalek gun at the front.
Yeah. Yeah. Pay or be exterminated. Exterminated. Puffing Billy was even made for trains. Yes, it was. I might actually have it here. Thinking about it. Do I? Do. Yes, I do. Look here. Here, it's in Trainz. There you go. That's it. It's even
cool.
Yes, it's even animated. Although
Wait.
it's not meant for normal tracks. You can see the wheels don't have flanges.
Oh, wow.
It's meant to be used with a tramway.
Oh, look at
So
that.
I believe I also have that in the store. Plateway, it's called.
It
So
looks
it's meant to be
so-
used with these tracks. You can see
That
these
looks
tracks
so-
that have the flanges on them.
Ooh.
That looks so fragile.
Huh. Yeah, the
It
early.
looks so unbelievably fragile and steampunk.
Yeah, the
I love it.
the original steam locomotives, they were very unreliable. Yeah, I wanted
Yeah.
I wanted to make a short route, a small route with those assets with the tramway, because there are actually a few variants of Puffing Billy and engines like that to use on the tramway, the plateway, I mean. But so far I haven't gotten around to it yet. Along with a few other ancient steam locomotives. Catch Me Who Can was also one. Made by the Steve Flanders or Ricky Sykes. Yeah. The latter of which sadly isn't with us anymore. Yes, he perished. But his content is still on the DLS. And his legacy lives on in that way. Should I? Yes! Earlier! Squeak! Haha. XD. Yep, I enjoyed it too. Yeah. Gimme pigs. Who shout gimme?
Guinea pigs.
Yeah. Nice term. Never heard it before. Should I? The well! You said well. They censored it. Nice. Sumerian artifact. $4.99 rent. Sumerian artifact.
It's in the gift shop.
Well, there are a lot of those clay tablets, but they are about 14,000 years old. I believe. I may be wrong. Actually, no. Göbekli Tepe is from. Yeah, well, Göbekli Tepe is from 13,000 BC, so it's like. That's 15. So probably about 14,000 if I remember correctly. 1,000 years old. Some of those. Horse-drawn vacuum cleaners. Where would you put the horse?
Yeah. Just wait, because it's great. The explanation is great.
Puffing Billy is a really old asset. More than 10 years old now. Well, the original Puffing Billy is over 200 years old. So.
So beat that.
Yeah. I think the extinct dinosaurs have got that beaten. I think it's from 2006 or so. Not sure. Yeah. Very old. Wrapped with a ribbon and a bow. Should I said well? I thought you didn't want one because you said well before. Oh, right, that of course. It all comes back to an ancient pun of mine. As it always does.
Yeah. God help us with it.
Right, so Mr. W, did you want to say something before you leave?
Well, I'm just finishing up this level, and I don't know how long. It shouldn't take me too long, but yeah, horse-drawn vacuum cleaners. What they used to do, it didn't used to be something that a person would. Vacuum cleaning wasn't really a thing that a person would own. It used to be a sort of a service, and the guy would go around the streets, with this sort of with basically a carriage with the horse on the front, and there would be a transparent pipe that would come from the quote unquote carriage and would go into the house and suck the dirt up.
Did they also use it for the horse's manure, is my question.
They could have done. I mean, it would be a bit uncomfortable for the horse just shoving a pipe up there.
No, I meant for the
could have
street. I meant to clean up the street behind them.
Oh no, it was no. He would come round. He would basically come round your house. He'd go round the streets and go to individual houses.
Yeah, I get that. I was just
and I think you paid for it. I wouldn't think so. No, I think the person who I think the person who made the mess. I think it's their job to clear it up. So give the horse a dustpan and brush. Give him a squeegee, stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, here's a very interesting thing I found out a couple of months ago. Did you know that in New York?
How long is it gonna? How long is it gonna be? Because
it's not gonna take long. Not gonna take long. Don't worry. Although that is a valid question. No, in New York, in the days of the interurban railways there, they had these railway cowboys. Where you had the train going literally on the streets, just on the normal street, like freight trains as well, and you had a guy on a horse riding in front of it to clear the way for the train, and they even had the cowboy hat on and everything. So you had these railway cowboys riding through New York, being chased by a train. That is just such a such a fun idea, isn't it? Well, to think about, not for the horse, obviously, because well, for obvious reasons. What do you think?
Yeah.
You don't sound convinced.
Yeah, could you say it again? I sort of.
Oh, well, in New York...
I lost track of it there. That was my bad, yeah.
In New York, they had interurban railways. An interurban railway is basically a railway that exists on the streets a lot of the time. So you had train tracks going along the road. And by along the road, I mean on the road. Yeah?
Oh, blimey.
It was actually very common in the 30s and 40s, in America especially. And because New York is quite a dense city, to keep the tracks clear ahead of the train, they had a cowboy riding in front of the train on a horse. So they had a guy on a horse, riding ahead of the train on the tracks to keep the tracks clear for the train. So imagine this.
That's the Lone Ranger's dream.
Yeah, imagine this: New York City, 1930s. You see, you're just on the street, and you see some tracks going just along just on the street, and then a cowboy turns the corner with full. I mean, there are photos. There are photos of this, with a hat and fully cowboy clothes, riding a horse, telling you to clear the way, and then along the street comes a freight train chasing the cowboy.
Bruh.
I do wish that
that's my that cowboy is. I think that cowboy is my spirit animal. That's brilliant. I love that.
I do wish that interurban railways were still a common thing.
Walk back plus the cowboy for good fun.
Yeah. Kango's posted a link.
Because you can never be too careful. Right. I'm gonna have to go.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for joining.
No problem at all.
Bye, Mr. W.
I will see you on Thursday. See ya.
See you later.
Bye. Right, so let me read chat. Good luck. Interesting, Miss W. Never heard about that. Good luck on the level, I meant. Me. Here's the term railway cowboys. My mind, cowboy, throws lasso. Hey, I called me a steeple cab. I don't know if that's a good accent. Maybe a horrible accent, I don't know. There's a link. Never heard about that. Was nice having. Yeah. Yes, it was. If you want to learn more about that, I would suggest you look at the Well, There Is Your Problem episode on interurban railways. It is fascinating. Right. Also, I need grass. So, guess it's just you and me in voice chat now.
That is correct.
Yes.
Or me and you.
Yes, that also works. Well, we haven't tried it yet, so we're not sure if it does work, but probably works. Right.
Well, I'm pretty sure that it's difficult to have me and me in the voice chat.
Actually, it's not that difficult to have yourself in the voice chat twice. Do you want me to demonstrate?
On the mobile phone?
No.
Ah, come on.
Do you want me to demonstrate?
Then, go for it.
Okay. Right. So, do you want me to demonstrate? There I am. Hello, other me.
Go for it.
And yes. Okay. So, as I'm sure you can hear. Right. Well, actually, you might only be able to hear it if you're listening to the stream. Hello. If you're listening to the stream, you should be able to hear it.
Yes.
Okay. So there I am. There are actually multiples of us now in the voice chat. I did this once before by accident, and it was actually quite fun to do. But I was told that it can get a bit annoying if it goes on for too long. The important thing about if you're doing this is that you keep on talking, because if you stop talking, then it is going to stop recording you, and then it's going to stop layering itself, which means that is a very important thing. So my question now is, do you understand anything that I'm saying, or are you so confused that you just don't know what's real and what is the video from the background? Would you even notice if I stop talking right now?
Well, I can notice that I've been only just being in the voice chat, so I didn't really turn the whole stream on the full volume, but since I did it once, then I heard just like myself 4 times and you 3 times, and I don't know, myself and you just meshed together, kind of like all the time, voices left and right, up and down, and as Kango said, just like the whole world is spinning around. You spin me right around me and whatnot. So yeah, it's actually pretty crazy, and it's yeah, I definitely can understand now that it's not really that difficult to have yourself twice or even thrice or even 4 times in the same voice chat, or even like a spectrum of Twitch, and on the same recording on the Twitch stream.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think that it is brilliant, if not overused. If you overuse it, then it's just boring. By the way, I've stopped it, just so you know, in case.
I know you.
Just because I wasn't exactly sure if you did, because I wasn't sure if you had the stream muted or not.
I'll mute. I did unmute the stream a couple of times just to check, like, yo, if I'm still hearing myself so many times.
Yeah. So, I think that this area is coming along quite nicely, although I am looking forward to getting back to the mountainous area. However, okay, so here's the plan, I think. The plan, I believe, is, well, first of all, finish this area, so the little sugarcane branch thing, which means I need to do a little bit of landscape over here in the distance. I need to do some landscape over here, and I do need to do the landscape over here on the right side of the tracks here. Which I know if you're watching the stream, it's going to be a bit buffered, but delayed, I mean, but you should be fine. After I've done that, I will probably, I'll probably continue the main line, and I want to have one more grain farm loading place, and then I want the main line to go into the city. I think I'm going to build to where the city starts, and then I'm not sure if I want to build the city then, right then, or if I'm going to continue with the mountainous area of the route up here. Because the thing is, this area just looks so damn nice. I do want to get back to this area. Yeah, wouldn't you say so? That it looks damn nice?
I see what you're getting at, but yeah, it does look damn nice.
It looks even better with a longer render distance.
True, but to be honest, like, who can afford himself that? Like, seriously. What I wanted to say is, you can build instead of a village, you could build a small. Instead of a city, you can build a small village.
I could. Why is that so funny? Yeah, I mean, I could.
Because I said village instead of because I said village instead of a city, and I said city instead of a village.
Yes, but why is it so funny?
Because
what about it?
Because I basically just messed myself up, I guess. That's funny.
Apparently. Well, the thing is, I want to have quite varied landscape. You know the country and city USA, the old route that the tutorials used to be on, the loading cargo and stuff.
Oh yes.
Yeah. One thing that I really liked.
It's like. Go for it.
One thing that I really liked about that route is that, well, it has the countryside, and then it goes into the city, and you actually feel like you're in a city, even though it's only a couple of houses, a couple of skyscrapers, and it's a tiny route. It feels like if you watch a movie that takes place in New York, and you go down to in Grand Central Station, especially a movie from like the 50s or 60s, something like that, and that feeling, it really captures that feeling. And I also love how the city contrasts the countryside in that map. And in this map, the Milton Valley Railroad, I have that. I want to have that. I want to have skyscrapers, maybe a bit New York-esque, not really New York, but a bit New York-esque, and then the countryside here as a contrast. But then I also have the mountains to contrast both of those again, which, I just want to have it as varied as I can. And I do have some towns on the map as well, so I think that a city would be very good, especially if I want to have portals for AI trains for through traffic. I think that could look very good. What did you want to say about the map?
About the city and country USA?
Yes. You wanted to say something about that, right?
Yeah, I find it really... I don't know. To be honest, I don't know anymore. But I do agree with your statements about the contrast just between the countryside and countryside, more like a desert rather than a countryside, and the city itself.
Yes.
I wanted to say about the industries that I think there was like a coal industry, a big yard, and
there was oil.
Was there oil?
Yes, I specifically remember because when I first played Trainz, the cargo loading tutorial took place on that map, and you were driving, like, I think it was an F7, and you had these oil tanker cars you had to couple up to, and then you drove them over to that multiple industries liquids one. You know, the one with a big slot in it on the side?
Yep.
Yeah. And what amazed me was that when you stopped there to load, it actually had those pipes that come out to load the cars, and they actually lined up. And that was just so amazing to me back then, that that actually works. Yeah? So, yes, it definitely had some oil industry on it.
Oh, right, it was the oil refinery, possibly?
I believe, yes.
Question mark? I don't know
I believe
anymore.
so.
Yeah, I believe that industry has been around since the time of TS 2004, possibly.
I believe so, yes. Right, so I'm just making a couple of sidings back here. Just overgrown, just in case you want to store some stuff, I guess. Right. Oh, by the way, I wanted to say again that Regenburg, which you are making, I think that looks amazing.
Regensburg.
What did I say?
It's not like rain. It's not like rain something. It's Regens. It's more like
What did I say?
I don't know what's Regenburg.
Oh, I meant to say Regensburg. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I
believe I've shown. I believe I've shown like a couple of screenshots which were, yeah, but just like top ones. I think you saw them or whatnot. So
yes.
Yo. But thank you.
Right. Do you think this is enough siding space here? Because I don't want to have a runaround track, because a runaround track just makes it a bit too easy, I think, in this case. Because I want logistics to be a bit more of an issue. Because because the thing is, operations I want to run here, because there are 3 loading places. There's one over here, where I do have a runaround track, because there's the roundhouse. Then there's one over here, which isn't finished yet. And then there's one which I was currently building, which is here. Now, if I look on the map, you can see the operations I want is for a switcher, or maple leafer, to to load up, to go down to the yard, the mainline yard, collect empties, load them up at all 3 places, and then bring them back down to the yard. The reason why I made this junction face upwards is to make it a bit more difficult for the player, because if they all faced towards the yard, then you could just, go in them and it wouldn't really be that difficult. However, because of this, it's going to be a bit more tricky, because then if you're coming up with empties this way, loco forward, so loco up, going forward, you're going upwards, then you can come up here, you can run around on this bit, but if you go along here, then you can't run around there. So you're going to have to go backwards along this bit, which isn't that common of a practice nowadays, but back then it was, and I do want to kind of capture that. So that's why I don't really want to make a runaround track down here or up here, so that you get those kind of operations here. So I think that this is probably enough storage space for things, probably. What do you think?
Yeah, it fits like a boxcar or 2, possibly.
Maybe even a caboose.
Yeah, true.
Right, let me read chat. Steeple Gap, yes. No, before that. No? Yes, Steeple Gap. Alright, already read that. Is that what inspired you to make the redacted route project? Yes.
Dun, dun.
By the way, he's talking about the redacted route project is my super duper top secret interurban route, which I have shown.
Yes, I know.
Yes. And the thing about inspired, he was referring to the Well, There's Your Problem podcast episode on YouTube about interurban railways. That was part of it. That was what got me started. Then I looked at all sorts of old footage of these streetcars running, street running through cities and into countrysides, along roads, that sort of stuff, and it just looks so beautiful, and really wanted to capture that. I started making the route, but then the only streetcar that fit the pantograph fight, that of the catenary assets I was using, is a really, really old one with that white tinted glass that you sometimes get. You know what I mean? Where the, that, and it also has a really long, it takes a really long time for the brakes to release, but they apply instantly, or almost instantly. So then I would have to make my own, and then I kind of did some British stuff, and then now I'm not really that sure. Now I'm more interested in the German idea that I had, the idea for the German network that I had, which there are some special features that I would like to implement in that if, and only if, I can get the signals to work. If the signals don't work, I may have to use the ones from the Niedertalbahn.
Yeah, the HI ones.
Yeah. They don't have that much functionality. I mean, they don't have that many features, but they do look okay, and those do work, I believe, for me. I'll wait.
Yeah, they do work. They're kind of, for me, they're personally a little bit low quality wise than these VSM signals.
Yeah, that is true. But if they work, then they work.
Yeah.
Unless you're talking about the other signals, in which case they do work and they don't work at the same time for some reason.
No, I'm talking about the HI signal. Signals, which are a little bit like, for me, they're...
Yeah, I meant more as in, usually the case is, if it works, it works, unless you're talking about something like the other assets, in which case it doesn't work if it works.
Okay.
That's more what I meant.
Okay.
A bit confusing now. Right. What was I saying before? All right. Thing. Yes. For some reason, the only route project that I've remained completely enthused about are American routes. I don't know why. Just something about the kind of trains, maybe, or landscapes. I don't know. But, yeah. That is true. Like, for example, the Milton Valley Railroad. Anyway, of course, still got a half an hour. That's plenty of time. Plenty of time, I tell you.
For chat.
No. There's never enough time for chat. If you streamed more, then you would know this is true.
I know.
Right. Or left, doesn't matter. Right, chat, indeed.
Up and down, left and right.
Alt account, Splitter Gaming? That's creepy. Go ahead.
I believe that's when he was when we were talking about the doubling itself in the
yes,
on the stream and in the voice chat.
That is true. That is true. That's creepy. The world is spinning. I think I need to sit down. Wait, I'm already sitting. Oh well. Right round, yeah. Like a record?
Maybe right round, right
Maybe?
round.
Yes.
I believe it's... I don't know.
I think it's... You spin me right round right round like a record, baby, right round. Isn't that it?
Yeah.
Question
Yeah,
mark?
yeah. Yeah, you spin me right round, baby, right round, like a record, baby, right round, right round.
Yes. Vote mountains? You cannot vote. Damn
Where do I
nice.
vote?
Brilliant. Damn, that joke never gets old. Well, maybe someday. But damn it if that lets me, if I let that stop me. Should I? No, before that. Well, maybe someday. Yeah. But one can damn well hope that it'll take long. You know, 2 words that are that generate the most puns that I've found is 1, damn, 2, bear. Because bear,
Oh, I
as
cannot
in
bear it.
exactly. Yeah, probably because words that sound the same as other words but have slightly different spelling, so they mean something different, but they can. That's probably what it is. Yes, DDA 40X oil run. That desert not count? Does desert not count as countryside? I believe that question was aimed at you, Swedar.
Where?
Kango says, does desert not count as countryside? Because you said, well, more desert than countryside.
Well, I would say countryside is more like something like greenery, grass, villages and whatnot, and desert is desert, like full of sand, rocks, and a lot of dead bushes, I guess, and rolling dead bushes.
However, a desert is technically only an area with very low annual precipitation, so rainfall, which means...
Okay, fine. Yeah, sure.
It means that areas like, for example, the Arctic is also a desert, because it has basically no rainfall.
Are you basically saying Antarctic is the countryside?
Well, yes. I guess so. Anyway. Right. Oh, right. ATSF F7A. That one too. Yeah, the pipes were brilliant. Shadays, would you like to try out the very first version of Trainz one day? Well, firstly, I've never heard of Trainz one day, but if the first version comes out, then yes, I'd like to try it, probably. No, but seriously, yes, it would be nice. It would be nice. However, I would probably need to run it in compatibility mode on Windows. Right. Regensburg, yeah. Shadays, you said Regenburg. Yeah, it was a mistake. And try to make a payware-worthy route for it. For it or with it?
Oh. It was for you, okay.
I mean, I think that it probably wouldn't be that difficult, because a lot of that... I have seen footage from the first Trainz versions, and most of it is basically the same. Yes, a lot of features are not there, but a lot of the techniques are probably going to would transfer over quite nicely. Like, for example, things like what scenery looks realistic, where you would have trees or fields, or putting grass splines next to the tracks, or curve radii, or junction radii, or signal placement, or station placement, towns, that sort of stuff would probably transfer over, because that is more knowledge based rather than based on what the tool allows you to do. So I think that it probably wouldn't be too difficult to make a payware-worthy route with the first versions of Trainz. Also, try saying that 5 times fast. Payware-worthy, 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 payware-worthy. That's not easy.
Payware-worthy, payware-worthy. No, I cannot.
Exactly.
Nope.
It is difficult.
Nope.
Right. So, yeah. Shades, don't forget to add frogs and swamp the levers. Oh, swamp the
Did you
levers.
just say swamp the levers?
Yeah, because
He means swap the levers.
yeah, because it was a pun. Because the thing is, because I'm not because I'm not it's a double pun actually. Because I'm not I'm not using procedural tracks, so I'm adding the junction frogs manually. So that's why he said, don't forget to add the frogs. And then because I also replaced the junction levers, he said that I also shouldn't forget to swap the levers. Yeah, I said it as swamp. I said it as swamp because of the frogs thing, but yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Shines, will you use the RS3 on this route? First one built 1950. Let's just have a look at what that is. Maybe, if I remember. And if the locomotive, the asset is of high enough quality, then yes. Oh, did I? Yeah, I did. I need the junction lever.
Lever.
The junction lever. The most dangerous of junctions.
Les junctions lever.
Right, I think that's a good enough place for it. Right. Shredders is talking about the freelance trolley coach. Yes, I think P-Weiser, I think? Maybe. Shredders, will you add this subtitle to the redacted route? Formerly known as the super duper top secret interurban route project. I doubt it. Yes, I was right. It was made by P-Weiser. Just checked. I've started so many UK routes, but none of them really looked realistic, so I postponed them indefinitely. Although, the last two routes you've started look very realistic in my opinion. The Welsh Riviera one, the fictional one you've started, yes, there are some bits on it that don't look that realistic, but those bits can be fixed. The Japanese one you started recently, yeah, I'd say that one looks realistic. And on top of that, it also looks beautiful. And I find that it's really not that difficult to make something realistic. But to make something realistic in Trainz that's also beautiful, that I think is a bit more of a challenge. So yes, well done. There was one of them that did look quite... What?
A round of applause.
Yes. There was one of them that did look quite decent that I had started in Tain, which I made after a real-life cab ride from Devon, Cornwall, but I had accidentally deleted it. Trace, damn, I can't bear this. See what I mean? See what I mean, Sweater?
I see.
I see. Sweater Gaming says Kango right after that. Let me just go for... Let me just go for a casual meander in this countryside. Whoops. Slipped on an iceberg. Actually, Sweda, have you ever seen iceberg chasing, like the ice flow chasing? There's a video on YouTube where they were in the Arctic. They were filming these huge glaciers as they break into the ocean, and there were parts of that the size of Manhattan that were breaking and twisting in the water. It was so amazing to watch. Hopefully, actually, let me see if I can find that. Maybe I can post it in the channel. And then if you're asking which channel, then you haven't been on my Discord server.
The channel, yes, I know. No, the channel.
Glacier, how do you spell it? Yeah. No, not like that. There's an L.
Oh, true.
With a C. It's with a C. Glacier.
Yeah, glacier.
Collapse, I think it might have been. Glacier collapse?
Manhattan collapse.
This one.
Calving.
It was this one, yes. Calving. Yes, this is the video. It says official video. I'll post it in the channel. I strongly advise you to have a look at it. It is amazing. There you go.
Thank you very much.
Now, hopefully, this won't break my Discord thing if I go back. Can you still hear me? Test, test, test. Test, test, test. 1, 2, 3. Good. Great.
Test, test, test. 1, 2, 3. I can hear you. Go over.
By the way, do you know why when they're doing mic tests, they often say 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2?
But not, what not, okay.
Do you know why?
They don't know how to count to 3?
Well, in some venues that might be the case, but no, it's actually because I. Oh, did I? No, that didn't place. I don't know why. I actually learned this because I did a couple of years of youth theatre, and it's because 1 is quite a deep sound if you listen to it. 1, quite a deep sound, and 2, there's quite a high peak in that. So 1, 2 it's a very good test, because then you test low frequencies as well as high frequencies in very short, basically very close together. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 is a very good test because of that. So yeah.
And why not 3 also?
Because maybe 1, 2 suffices? I don't know. That I don't know.
Poor 3.
Yeah. Also, here's an interesting thing. Do you remember when I was talking about the role-playing system I'm writing?
Yeah, sure.
Do you remember when I was talking about the role-playing system I'm writing? Or maybe you weren't here for that, I'm not sure. But anyway, I'm writing my own tabletop role-playing system. It's going well, thank you. And for the currency, I'm actually basing it off of old English currency, because the old English system before the decimal system was introduced was I said that in the Discord server with you, right? Tales of Vestia?
Yes,
yeah,
we talked
the money,
about it, yes.
Right. Because it's base 240, because you can divide that into so many different numbers. So, like, for example, in the decimal system, say you want to hire 3 people to do some job for you, right? You hire them and you pay them, say, I don't know, £10, yeah?
Yep.
Then how do you split that evenly? You can't.
£10.
You can't split that.
3.
You can't split it. It would be 3.333 exactly. So you can't split it. So one of them is going to get more than the others. You can't split it into 3. Now this is
that's just not fair.
Yeah. The old system, the base 240 system, does split into 3, which means it splits into multiples of 3, which means it splits into so many more values than the than the current decimal system. And a lot of people say that it's a lot more complicated and that the decimal system is easier, but that's only because you're used to it. If you were used to the old system, then it would be second nature to you. Yeah. So that's why I'm using that system for that.
Neat.
Anyway, let me... Oh, also, one thing. Do you know what electrum is? It's a metal. Do you know what it is? And don't say a metal, because that joke just wouldn't be funny enough.
I'm really tempted.
I know
I am really, really tempted
know
right
you
now.
are.
I don't know. Maybe that's something that starts with an M and ends with a L.
Haha. Well, actually, it is an alloy. It is an alloy of gold and silver. Which was used to make coins that were... Yeah, to make coins. It was actually used for thousands of years to make coins. Electrum was actually one of the first metals that we have coins from. Yeah. So, like over 10,000-year-old coins from mostly kind of the Middle East. But yes, Electrum.
Neat.
I want to place this windmill. So, oh, this might be a good place for it. This little, not windmill, this little wind. Yeah, windmill, it does a windmill. There we go. Maybe a little shed next to it. Is there a little shed?
Maybe also a scarecrow?
Scarecrow. Probably a bit of a big field for it, but sure. But no, yeah, I'll probably place one if I have one. It's a good idea. This might be a good sized shed here. Just kind of something like that. You're driving past something to look at. Do I have a scarecrow? Let's see. Scare. Oh, sorry, that scared me. Right. So I do have scarecrows.
I was okay.
Oh, did I actually scare you?
No, I'm just taking a lot of time just to process the pun.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you can't really.
I just didn't notice. I just didn't notice it at the first glance.
Ah, yeah. There is a scarecrow there, but it you can't see it. It would have to be placed so close. Well, then maybe. Like if I placed it here, you could see it. But this doesn't really seem like the place you would place a scarecrow, like right at the edge of the field. Nah, I'm gonna leave it. And I'm gonna rechat.
Now I'm wondering if there's any crows.
There are birds. There are crows. Yes. The animated ones.
Ooh.
They also have a sound. Is it these ones? Did I place that? Oh, no. This. Yes, there is a crow. There it is.
Oh, I see.
But no, there are actually animated crows as well. I placed them on
are those the snap ones, I believe?
I think, yeah. There you go, those ones. They also have sounds. Actually, those fit really well here. I was going to... The thing is, I was going to go over the route. Like, after, when it's finished, I was going to go take a pass over the route. Just adding sound objects, animals, lights, that sort of thing. But I might as well place a few of them here. And...
Just for a good measure.
Yeah, and now we know where there are so many here, because there is no scarecrow to scare them away.
But Kango said, put it down.
In that
Scarecrow
act,
would be nice.
did he said... How did he say it? Like how did he emphasize it?
How did he say it?
Did he just say, put it down? Something like that? Or...
No, he emphasizes it with a exclamation mark. Is like a scarecrow would be nice. There's like, scarecrow would be nice! Leave it!
Okay, well there you go. There's a scarecrow there. Now, while you listen to the lovely car sounds in the background... No, I'm gonna move it, don't worry. No, now I'm gonna read chat. Jokes aside though, I do agree. Pay where worthy, pay where worthy, pay where worthy, pay where worthy, pay where worthy. There we go. Yay, I did it. Sweetheart, I did say swamp. Swap. Yes, you did say swap.
Swamp. Did you really just say swamp?
No, he didn't say. He said swap. Nice pun. Yeah, there are quite a few RS3s for Trainz. It came with Trainz for a good while too. There are some good ones out there. Oh, you're right. Bye. Yeah, they're gone now. They've gone to the neighbors. They were out there. Oh, thank you.
The crows?
No. The RS3s, because he said, yeah, there are quite a few RS3s for Trainz. And then he said, there are some good ones out there. And there actually were some good ones out there.
Oh my god, I'm just replaying. I have to watch the airplane movie like 3 times to like understand these puns. Jesus Christ.
The airplane.
You know the movie Airplane?
Yes, Airplane 1 and Airplane 2, I believe, are among the funniest movies ever made.
Yeah.
Yes.
I believe it's like Airplane exclamation mark.
Yes.
Is it?
I'm not sure. One of the jokes where it's like Leslie Nielsen as the doctor is there. He's examining the woman and he says, "We need to get this woman to a hospital." And then the stewardess says, "Oh, what is it?" And then he says, "It's a large building with beds inside, but that's not important right now."
Yeah, I know.
Leslie Nielsen's deadpan humor, just a total seriousness and commitment to it. That is just so funny. Also, when he goes into the cabin in the front, the cockpit, and he says, "Good luck, boys, we're counting on you." He closed the door. Then the scene goes on, and then he opens the door again and says, "Good luck, boys, we're counting on you." And he closes it again, and then he repeats that a couple more times as well. It's just like... Anyway, I need to rewatch those films sometime. Yes. Alright, chat. I was thinking about what was I doing, but chat, yes. Oh, thanks. I'm glad you like them. Thanks, Swidar Gaming. And a nice rainbow heart. Chat Ice. Chasing Ice. That one, right. XD, haha. 1, 2, yeah. I mean, they're paid for music, not mathematics, so...
Fair point.
Shalace, do you really want that old noisy pickup next to the tracks there? Yes, I do. 3 of them. Because when you're coming in here, it's nice to have a few more sounds, and it distinguishes this loading spot from this other loading spot. Because if I have some different sound object here, like maybe... oh, I don't know, maybe a specific bird sound, or a mill, or something like that, then it's going to differentiate those 2 points in the player's mind. Yes. I mean, it looks good, but it's noisy and might irritate... I lost the spell. Where was I? It jumped. Might irritate the driver into crashing. Well, if that's the case, then they need to start the session over again, which means that there's more playtime on my route. So, I mean... nah, well...
Yay.
Yeah, if you were used to the other one, the decimal system would be too complicated. Yes. And please, Sharadice, tell us why coins have the ridges on the side. Oh, do you want to know why coins have little ridges on the side? Do you? Do you? Because I know.
Yes.
Yes. Good choice, good choice. Now, the reason is that a common practice throughout ancient times, all the way up to the medieval era, was that coins, people used to just file a little bit off the edge. Yeah? A little bit of the metal to smelt it, and then to make it into something else that they could sell. So that, or clip bits off the edge of the coin. Yeah? Which would then actually lessen the coin's material value, and because the material value is what gives the coin its value, at least back then, that would mean that you could actually use a coin which had less value to buy stuff of more value. To stop this practice, little ridges started being made into the edge of the coin. So if you filed a little bit off the edge, you would notice it. It would be noticeable, which would then make the coin invalid. You wouldn't be able to use it, which is why there are little ridges on it. Yeah.
Nice.
So, XD, Shreddies, your maybe sounded like a British two-tone horn. Like that, you mean? Scarecrow
Maybe.
would... That's what the HST sound like in Trainz, the old one.
Maybe.
Maybe. Maybe. Scarecrow would be nice. Leave it. Okay. Would be funny. Shreddies. Shinin... yes. Shinikana. Yeah, that's the thing. Because in Kango's last stream, because he was working on his Japanese route, and he was asking for names, and one name that I just came up with because it sounded Japanese to me is Shinikana. Yeah? I mean, that sounds Japanese, right? Shinikana? A bit, maybe?
Yeah.
And a couple of days ago, I asked Kango to maybe translate that into English to see if it actually means something, along with the other stations. And he did, and the results are quite funny. I'm going to let Kango explain that to you if he wants to. About the 2D Chrome. Okay. Thanks for leaving it, Shreddies. And yes, I said it just like that. Shreddies, you've got the RS3s in Britain? I want to see them! No, actually, the neighbors have got them now. Yeah. Yeah! Airplane, exclamation mark. Yes! The deadpan! If he even smirked a tiny bit, it would have ruined it. Exactly. Also, Dead and Loving It. Mel Brooks film, starring Leslie Nielsen as Count Dracula, and Mel Brooks as the kind of the vampire hunter, as the vampire expert. That is such a brilliant film. Have you seen it? Dead and Loving It.
Not really, but I'm already...
I'm
gonna watch it.
If you like Airplane, then you're going to love that movie. Anyway.
It's on my list.
Good. Yay, Airplane. Yeah, okay. Yes, me too. Rewatch. Shreddies. And just to confuse people, name the one with the pickups, Crow Point, and the bird one, Noise Junction. No, I haven't gotten... I'm not going to do that simply because I haven't actually got a name for this sugar cane plantation yet, and I want to put that name into the loaders so that if you look through the list, if you go Control F, find industry, they're grouped together. So I'm not going to do it because of that reason, but otherwise that would be funny. Shreddies, yes, like that. Only the high tone was the first. Oh, I see, I think. So according to Google Translate at least, Takachini, the one I made up, means others win, and Shinikana means is it dead? A station named Is It Dead? Purely by accident. That is so funny to me. Yeah. I mean, just imagine it if in Japan, if they are making a route set in Britain, and they're making a route set in Britain, and they're trying to come up with station names, and they just randomly make up words that sound British, and they come up with a name and they call it Is It Dead? Just because it sounds British. And then they translate it and they realize what it means. The exact same thing happened in reverse. That is funny to me. Anyway, yeah, I'm leaving it 100% now. Shreddies. Chiki, not Takachini. Oh, sorry. But yeah, but you wrote Takachiki.
Yeah, you said Takachini.
Oh, I'm sorry. Huh. Sorry. But yeah, chini is just something like a soup. You're right, it does. Easy Dead, UK. Exactly like that. It's actually near Basingstoke. You can get there by the 12 o'clock. Couple of minutes. Right, let's just quickly continue this road just a little bit further, just so that when I take the thumbnail screenshot, it looks just a tiny bit more finished. So
Yeah, we will not just look at the time.
You will not what?
We will not look at the time.
Oh, okay. I was about to, but now that you've said that, I guess I won't.
Yay, sure, that's 3 hours of stream.
I did actually do that once because of technical issues for the first time, but yeah. So, what do you think? Do you think this is gonna be a good thumbnail, kind of like this?
Needs more scarecrow.
Actually, there is a scarecrow there. Do you want me to show it to you? Just zooming in.
Oh, there is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
it's
is.
Right
it's a barrel. Yeah.
there, right there. And there are the crows that it's scaring. You can see none of them have landed, so it's doing a good job. Right. So I think that this is probably going to be a good thumbnail place. So let's call it a day here, and by call it a day I mean quit. Oh, yes, here are the signal things. Actually, you know what?
Call it a night.
Call it a night. Soon.
Call it.
So, do you want... Okay, so this I found this funny, so I'm just going to read the first 2 paragraphs of this, because it is quite funny. This is a... some basics of German railway operations. So, yeah, this is intended for people who do know nothing about how a railway works. It is by... it is on sh1.org/Eisenbahn/rbasic.htm. I'm just going to read the first 2 paragraphs. Differences between street and railway traffic. If you are used to street traffic but new to railways, you need to bear in mind that there are 2 substantial differences to street traffic. The first is that the person regulating the train's speed is different from the one setting the train's track, and that the brake distance is nearly always greater than visibility. Okay, that's a thing common to railways and streets, but on railways it is intended to be that way. One major difference is with the meaning of green signals. On the road, green means something like enter intersection on sight and proceed if clear. There may be other cars in front of you. While in railways operations, green guarantees that the next block is clear. So yes, the first 2 actual paragraphs of that differences. So that was just a little bonus. So yes, I'll just now read chat, and then that will be the end of the stream. I know, it's a scary proposition, but it is.
No way.
Yeah,
what about
I
shoutouts?
know. I don't know. I don't know what will happen with them. I mean, maybe I can squeeze them in, but I mean, if they find...
Is there time?
I don't know. I mean, if we keep talking like this, then there definitely won't be time.
Then time is of the essence.
Yes, time is the essence. If you think about it. Well, it's space time really, but sure. Where was I? Oh, right.
Chat?
But yeah. Yeah, I saw 2. Good one, Shadice. The what now? Shadice, did you close Discord? No, I didn't. It's still open. You didn't. Nice. Squeeze who in? You. Who else? The what now? O? You mean A-E-I-O-U. The time is really flying by. We must be having fun. But now there's no denying why it must be something. The time is really flying by. We must be having fun. But now there's no denying that I haven't yet begun. That's how it is. It's a reference to a musical that I was in a couple of years ago. Anyway, sorry. But now there's no denying that I haven't yet begun. Oh, right, that is probably more correct. Begun! Of course! Yes, begun, yeah. It's actually the junior version of Alice in Wonderland musical, which the melodies are great, but as a whole, I think it feels a bit hollow, that one. There are some other ones that are much better, like, for example, Into the Woods, Stephen Sondheim's. Much better. Anyway, enough of that. So, do you think we've got enough time for shoutouts?
Only time will tell.
Okay, so then let's wait until it tells us, because I wouldn't want to try to do shoutouts if we don't have enough time. So, yeah.
Oh, great time. You shall have your time for all shoutouts. I think the time says this.
Oh, okay, sure. Time, 58 seconds left. Oh!
It's a ticking time bomb.
Well, you know what would be funny is if I said, well, I wonder what happens if time runs, and then I click on end stream. That would be funny, wouldn't it?
But does it work though?
I don't know. Anyway, yes, shoutouts. So, right, Kangofango. Of course. He does lovely stuff on Sundays on Twitch. He's building a Trainz map, actually 2. Not sure if he's alternating between them or what he's doing with it, but he's working on 2. And he's building OMSI 2 map. He streams truck driving. He's recently streamed Euro Truck Simulator with the snow mod installed, which is very nice. So have a look at that if you want to. Chances are you're probably interested in Trainz if you're hearing this. So on that subject, also have a look at Central Europe. It is a huge Trainz map, which is in development, freeware. A version of it is available on the DLS. It is a map that aims to simulate Central Europe, kind of in the kind of what it says on the railway tin, as it were. Yes. So Swedar, who is in voice chat now, say hello.
Hello.
Yes, he's part of that development team, along with Slovak Eagle and the Branded K on Twitch. Brand and also a few others, Mika, Prisoner, Zefek. There's one I'm missing. Or more than one. Anyway, you can ask them for the full list. Have a look at that. And yes, I also, Slovak Eagle, yeah, he also streams if he can, which he can't at the moment. But if he can, I always mispronounce that. Dostachko. Dostachko?
Dostachko.
Dostachko. Yeah. Dostachko.
Yes.
Dostachko. You know, when I say it like this, it seems so natural. Like, of course it's pronounced Dostachko, but when I haven't seen the word in a while, I kind of forget how to pronounce it, and then I try to pronounce it by how it's spelled and how that would be pronounced in English, and then it just it doesn't have a good result. Anyway, I think time is getting a bit annoyed now that we've gone so much over it. So
I'm sure it's fine.
With that, actually, yeah, I'm sure it's fine as well. You know what? In fact, I believe we should challenge it. I believe we should challenge time to see... Yeah. I mean, what can it do? I mean, it's not like time can end the...